So what happened, collective? A love that felt like you could do anything, that made your heart feel again, feel open and warm, all of a sudden became cold and distant, and it seemed like distance was the answer in order to feel closer, but you wanted to feel closer, but only felt closer in the distance to the point where it felt like the bond that you had created was starting to break, on the edge of breaking. But how did you get there? What happened, collective? What happened between the two of you that caused something that felt so perfect to feel like it was beginning to crumble? Denial. Somebody was in denial, not facing the truth that maybe the bond that you felt was so connected maybe wasn't as strong as you thought. You were feeling dismissed, not seen. Their person's words and actions were contradicting. Nothing matched. They would say one thing, but their actions would do something else, and you felt unsatisfied. You were receiving the bare minimum in regards to romance and love, to the point where maybe it didn't feel like it was actually any type of romance, or definitely maybe not love, but the denial that you held on to for a while. It made you feel like there was some level of hope. If you just held on, something would change. Eventually, there would be some level of reciprocation, and you wouldn't feel like your person was losing interest in you and the connection in the relationship in general. Was it something that they were going through personally that they didn't want to talk to you about? Was it you? There were so many questions, but not enough answers. So denial, living in a fantasy, holding on to faith, waiting for something to change because you felt like inevitably it had to get better than this. It can't get any worse. But in the meantime, feeling unsatisfied, barely receiving any type of love, to where the spring didn't really make you feel warm. Around spring, those beautiful flowers that were blooming was exactly the opposite of what you were feeling. There was no self-love. You couldn't accept the situation for what it was. You were not ready to admit defeat, that maybe this was not a connection that was as warm and loving and caring and giving as you thought. The intentions of one was not the intention of the other. You were not on the same page. But those feelings, they took over your logic. You blocked out the red flags. You accepted them wholeheartedly for who they were. Because again, you felt your intentions were 100% for them, for your love, for your connection, for your relationship, that theirs had to be the same, right? Their intentions for you had to be the same. Why would they treat you any differently? You never gave them a reason to treat you bad. Why would they not give to you in the way that you give to them? Terms. It's almost as if you had to negotiate the love that you were receiving, beg almost for attention that you received so easily in the beginning, during the honeymoon phase, as they call it, that phase where you don't really take the time to try to understand the deeper person, the deeper parts of the individual that you start to fall in love with, and you just see the surface, you miss the deeper rooted issues. So now you're in a place of holding on to this denial because it's too hard to admit the truth that this person only gives to you when you give to them, or gives to you when it's something that they need from you. It was never an equal give and take. But this is something that you missed in the beginning. Your dream was to have a family, to build a foundation, to feel safe after so long of feeling unsafe, never feeling protected, cared for, never having a family connection, that bond. And you thought this was your chance. So you stayed in denial, hoping for some change in behavior, feeling unsatisfied, not showing yourself love, never enjoying the spring months, as beautiful as they are, being okay with the rain to hide your tears, your sadness, a dream that you know that you would never obtain with this person. But how could I miss it? How did you miss it, collective? What did you not see? These are the questions that you have about this seemingly perfect romance. But there was something that you missed here. There was something that you missed. What did you miss? Legal matters. This person still had legal matters that you were not aware of pertaining to a previous connection, a previous family. It didn't allow them to be there for you wholeheartedly in the way that you wanted. But unfortunately, you found out too late. You figured it out after you had already fallen in love. You ignored the signs. You stayed in denial, although your spirit team was trying to help you listen to your intuition because you know that you were in pain. But you ignored the signs because it was easier to stay in denial. It was easier to, even through the rain, wait for the flowers. But there were so many things that this person had not told you, that you were not aware of, that you could not control, that left you in denial and unsatisfied and heartbroken because you quickly realized that your dream of a family, of a connection, was not going to happen. Not in the way that you wanted, no matter how much you craved it, no matter how much you had a hunger for that connection. It would never be satisfying in the way that you desired. It was always going to leave you wanting more. Your emotions were all over the place, in and out like waves, crashing, only crashing, hot and cold. There was no ebb and flows. It just felt like crashing all the time, trying to hold yourself together. But there was really nothing that you could do. Let's go to part 3.